Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. If this is your first time, please consider subscribing and hit the little bell so that you will be notified when new videos become available. Today, I want to go over 5 things that you need to remember when it comes to investing. 5 things to consider. 5, just 5. There could be more, but just consider 5 as you embark upon your journey to investing. If that sounds like something you want to know more about, stay tuned. As I said, we're going to talk about 5 things to consider when it comes to investing money. Number one is have an emergency fund set aside before you begin your investment journey. Why? Because things come up in the meantime, and it would be counterproductive to cash out your investments in order to handle a small emergency. So have your 3 to 6 month emergency fund in place so that as you're investing, because investments have a risk. That means you could lose some money in the short term. Historically, they have gained, but in the short term, you could lose money. So you want to not want to depend on your investments for emergencies, but use an emergency fund for that purpose. Now, that might seem obvious to a lot of people, but you would be surprised how many people cash out their retirement savings or their investments in general to handle things that could have been handled through a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Number 2, start now. Start as soon as you can. Now, when I say now, I mean after you've saved 3 to 6 months. Because if you can't save 3 to 6 months, how can you begin investing if you haven't disciplined yourself to save to begin with? So, those saving that money will get you in the discipline of taking that money and putting it in a place that has a little bit more risk, but also has a little bit more reward. So start as soon as possible. If you look at people who started late, say one person started at 20 and put only $1,000, and then you looked at another person who started at 40 and put $1,000 every month. By the time they're 60, the person who put just a single $1,000 is doing doing just as well as the person who put $1,000 a month for the 20 years, because that person allowed the person that started at 20 allowed their money to grow and compound for 20 years before that person put their first $1,000. So when that person put their the second person put the first $1,000 at 40, the other person A, who had put only a single $1,000, had grown multiple times. So they had a whole lot more than the person who started, even though the second person put $1,000 every month till they're 60 or until they're ready to withdraw the money. So the sooner you start, the better, because it gives you more time for your money to compound, to grow, to multiply, if you will. Number 3 is set a specific amount that you're going to invest every month. Some people call this dollar cost averaging. Rather than make it an arbitrary amount, I think I'm going to invest $20 this month, $100 next month. No, set a specific amount in your budget that goes towards investing. Rule of thumb is 10 to 15% of your gross income. 10 to 15% of your gross income would be a good starting point in terms of investing. And when the stocks are high, you buy a little bit less. When the stocks are low, you buy a little bit more. So you don't have to be afraid of times when stocks drop, because that's a time when you get to buy more because you are setting a certain amount every month. That's the benefit of it. It's called dollar cost averaging. Rather than try to time the market, only a few highly skilled and highly placed individuals have the skill to do that on a regular basis. Even some of the best people in the investment community can't just time the market. So unless you think you know more than some of the best people, then I wouldn't recommend trying it. So number one, get that emergency fund in place. Number two, start now. Number three, set a budget. Number four is similar to three, but make the investment, now that you put it in your budget, make the investment automatic. What does that mean? That means don't allow yourself the extra steps of getting the money, writing the check, sending it away. No, just get an automatic bank debit that, or if you have it through your paycheck, you have a paycheck debit or collect right out of your paycheck that goes right into your fund, or right out of your bank account that goes right into your fund. But the ideal is that you don't allow the money to sit. You don't look at your account and say, oh, how much do I think I'm gonna do? No, make it automatic. That way you almost don't even think about it. You do it just automatically, not even wondering like, oh, if I'm gonna give this month or invest this month or whatever. No, you just do it automatically. And before you know it, you're gonna look at your account and be like, wow, I've saved this much. And I'm telling you, you'll be surprised how quick your money will grow. And you're putting money in, plus it's growing. Oh man, you about to take off. And the last thing, number 5, is make it a long-term event. Don't put money in an investment and expect it to double overnight. It rarely happens like that. It rarely happens like that. And something that could double overnight could also fall overnight. So that's the other benefit of keeping it for long term, because it allows time to rebound. It allows time to recover from a loss. And investment is a long-term event. It's not, I know you have those day traders out there who buy something 1 hour and 2 hours later sell it. But you know, you're getting micro growth things, and you do that. You wind up selling or buying again. You sell something, then you got to buy something else. So it's really that's not for the average person to be playing around like that. And history has proven it's easier to have your money into a diversified account like a index fund or ETF or mutual fund, and dollar cost average. So 5 things: set your budget. I mean, Set your emergency fund, I should say. Set your emergency fund. Start now. Set a certain amount in your budget. Make it automatic. And be in it for the long term. When you do that, you will see your money grow. And as your money grows, your wealth grows. If you want to learn more about it, I have a book called The 7 Phases of Financial Wellness. Check the link below. You can order that book today and go into more detail about all the things surrounding good habits, good actions that are involved with personal finance. I want to thank you for watching, and I hope that you will put into practice what you learn and watch your life improve. Thanks, and God bless.